Welcome. If you want to learn everything about the classic style, then stay tuned and don't forget to visit stylesystems.net. So, welcome everyone for this episode. I'm bringing to you and to your awareness the classic style. Remember that we have been reviewing the 7 different styles, and now we are talking about the classic style, which in a way is very similar to the elegant style. You can go back to that video that I already made. We still have to cover some of the different styles, but the elegant is already out there, and if you understand all the strengths and more than the strengths, the messages that the elegant style transmits, the classic style also transmits, and vice versa. The messages that the classic style has, the elegant style also has. So the classic style, as the name says it, is very traditional, is very classic, is very discreet, modest. Basically, the classic style doesn't want to get too much attention, right? It is the opposite of, maybe you will see it in other videos, it is the opposite of seductive style. It is the opposite as maybe the creative style, which we have already covered. The creative style doesn't necessarily want attention, but they are crazy. They're all over the place. They're living their own head. And the classic style doesn't want that. They are more discreet. They are more timeless, even, because they're classic. Even the word says it. They're very conservative. And they know about protocols, all right? So that makes them look timeless. In the way that they dress, of course. They don't spend too much money on their clothes, on their personal grooming, because they look at the quality of it. They want one suit that will last them for the rest of their entire lives. The type of suit that they would inherit for their children or even their grandchildren, right? They use these type of things that are very durable. They're looking for durability, timelessness, right? They don't necessarily search for trends. Actually, they don't give a fuck about trends. They don't care what is happening out there with the new trends and the new fashion thing. They're very conservative. They know that whatever they wear, they're gonna look good. They're gonna get accepted by society standards because they know about protocols, which means they know about the rules of society. So I know that if I wear a navy suit, I can never go wrong with a navy suit. I know that if I'm a woman and I paint my French nails, it's type of style, very classic type of nails, or very classic discreet earrings, I know that I will look good. It doesn't matter what you like, what you don't like. I know that I will look fine, right? I will get accepted. I will not get rejected by anyone else, because they're always, it's almost like one of the weaknesses that we will cover in a moment. They're stuck in a loophole, right? That they're always wearing the same, so they tend to look a little bit boring if they don't take care of themselves. So as the other videos, I have my notes over here, which is something that you get. This description that I'm actually reading right now is something that you get if you go to stylesystems.net. You will be able to discover your own style, so that from there you developed your unique style, right? It is like a guideline. Remember that. If you don't know what style is, go back, stop the video right now, and go back to the explanation of what style is, which I will leave the video on the description box. If not, you just find it on my channel, right? And you'll get this. A test will show up, will pop up. You answer 7 questions, and it will give you this explanation. Plus, you'll get the videos. Also, if you go to my Pinterest, I'm always uploading new looks, new inspiration on these 7 different styles. So let's look at this. All right. They use neutral and sober colors, strong, high-end, durable materials and fabrics, right? Just like I said, because they don't want to get a lot of attention, you will never see a classic style or a traditional style wearing yellow, bright shirt, or a pink suit, for that matter. They're gonna be discreet. They don't want to get attention. Remember that. That's a key word for a person with a traditional style or classic style or a brand. They don't want to stand out and be like, yeah, look at me, right? They don't follow fashion or trends, but of course they buy and they look for quality in their clothes because they don't want to invest too much into that. You know, they just want to go once in their lives. You know, if they could do that, just go once and buy everything and never come back, that's what they would do. Think about maybe your grandparents. Think about the 40s and maybe even the 50s. That type of style, right? Let's see. It's like the perfect cliche of the English gentleman and the classic English lady, right? So what's the greatest example on this style? Royal families. That's right. If you study, or even politics as well, every politician, even if they themselves are not classic style, they have to use some of the things of the classic style. So if you look at the image overall, whether it's in the form of communication, how they move, what they're wearing, everything, even the women, how they do their makeup, how they wear their hair. Look at politics and of course royal families. If you study the royal family in the UK, you will see they're all classic style, or they use some of the classic style, all right? Normally you see men wearing a very short hair, structured hair, and the women as well. They don't go for too long, way too long hair, right? They're more structured, more short, all right? Messages, let's review some of the messages. Someone who reflects loyalty, fidelity, responsibility, trust, efficiency, honesty. Someone who is organized, reliable, someone who is careful, someone who you can trust. Someone who you can say and be like, okay, I can trust you with all of my money. Let's picture a judge, you know, or even a medic, you know, a doctor. Maybe, I don't know, let's think of someone. A banker, right? Someone in the bank, someone who is dealing with huge amounts of money. You would expect the institution and the people within the institution to have some of the classic style messages and strengths, because you're giving basically all of your money to them, so you expect certain messages for you to feel more secure, like, okay, I can trust in them, they look reliable, they look like they can get shit done, right? They look organized, they look neat. That's the messages that they transmit. The strengths, one of the strengths is that he or she causes in others and projects much respect and credibility. So let me explain that. If you see a brand, a product or a person with classic style, they will immediately, one of the strengths, they will immediately project credibility, all right? It's almost like without they having to explain themselves, like, okay, this product actually works and you can believe me, right? You know, which by the way, never say believe me or trust me, because it implies that you cannot be trusted, all right? So, but going back to this video, the classic style, when you look at someone like that, they require no explanation. Immediately you see like, oh, okay, you know, I can trust in them, you know, they look credible. They look like they know what they're doing. So remember, one of the strengths is that a classic style project much respect, which means they look like a figure of authority. Remember someone back in the 40s with the suit, very structured, maybe a doctor, an old school doctor, a lawyer, a banker, all of these type of things. In credibility, authority, of course, they appear to have hard work capacity, maturity, and knowledge. So someone or something with a classic style, with some of the strengths is that they will look mature. Even if they are younger, they will immediately look more mature, and like they have knowledge, like they know. Like I said, they know what they're doing. You can ask them something and they, you know, okay, it looks like you know more than I do, so I have these questions. They look like they have the knowledge. Some of the risks. Remember that if you don't take care of your style, even if it has some beautiful things, if you don't take care of your style or this archetype, you run some risks, right? Everything has weaknesses and everything has strengths. The risks is that if you don't take care of the classic style, it might become outdated, which is one of the most common things that you see with your grandparents. They look old, they look outdated. They look boring, even unattractive. You know, who would want to date their own grandma, right? That's like fucking disgusting. So when you look someone like that and they don't take care of themselves, they don't look attractive. They look, it kind of repels you because it reminds you of the figure of authority of your mom or your, you know, the status quo. So it's like, oh, I don't want to, you know, just stay away from me, man. You remind me too much of my mom or my grandfather that they will always tell me what to do. So we're like, get the hell away from me. So they need to take care of that, right? Boring as well. Remember that. They can look boring. If you have a product, maybe you want to open up your own bank. I know, it's a dumb example, I know. But you would have to do some of the classic style things. But just be careful not to be very boring, because then you will not attract new clients. Same thing with a person, right? Too serious also. It is another one. Too serious. You can look too serious, like very stuck up, right? Like, oh, like I don't want to talk to anyone because you even, you know, like a mathematician or someone who is a scientist, you know, like they don't know how to talk to people. They look like they don't know how to talk to people because they're living in their own world, like a physicist, this and that. You know, that's an example. Now, some of examples of famous people with this style could be anyone in the royal families. Anyone from the Spanish royal family, the English royal family. Robert De Niro is one. Politicians, of course. Mad Men. I don't know if you've seen this HBO TV show that was called Mad Men. It was supposed to be about it is set up in the 60s, right? About advertising, the advertising industry. So if you just Google right now, Mad Men, HBO Mad Men, you will see everything that I'm talking about for both men and women. That is classic style. Some brands, well, from the top of my head, I can't remember right now. Maybe you can help me. If you can remember a brand that has these things, maybe, you know, Hugo Boss could be one, but it's also where we're doing some of the elegant style things. Because remember, the elegant and the classic, they are very similar. Maybe the main difference between the elegant and the classic is that the elegant brings the status of the person or the product or the institution. It raises it up, it takes it up a notch, and it looks like, oh, it's more classy, it's more expensive. It's like, whoa, right? And it causes it admiration. Classic doesn't necessarily want admiration. They just want to be left alone. They're doing what they're doing, and they are the figure of authority, right? So I think that's good enough for today. Remember that if you have more questions, you can always put them down here on the comments section. Follow me on my Instagram, just at Pablo Style Systems or Style Systems Pablo. If you just type in Style Systems, I will show up. And also on Facebook, all that, because, you know, I do this Insta stories and all these things where I can interact with you guys. But please tell me your questions and let me know if you have some ideas on brands with this type of style, all right? And go to stylesystems.net to learn more about this. Remember that you get a free ebook called The Truth About Style, and also you will get the test so that you can discover your style, all right? I will see you on the next one. Be the best version of yourself. Thank you for watching this.